Hello Aquarius, this is your September forecast. It's an extremely powerful month in the heavens. We've got the eclipses happening on the 13th and the 28th of September. We've got Mercury going retrograde on the same day that Saturn changes sign. And we've also got Venus, ruler of your relationships and your money, going direct. So it's a lot. And let me break it down for you, my lovely Aquarians, by saying that on September the 7th, we've got Venus going direct, and going direct here in your 7th house, whoopsie daisy, of relationships. So many of you, since Venus has been retrograde since the 25th of July, have probably been reflecting on your relationships, many of you reassessing them and also reassessing your finances as well. And now that this Venus goes direct, and Mars there as well, this is a wonderful time for moving forward with a relationship. Maybe you've met somebody and you weren't quite sure. Now, if you're more sure, you can move forward. It should be more easy to move forward in relationships. With Venus there all month for you still, this is a great time for getting into a new relationship. Very often, as an astrologer, I'm always extremely busy with relationship charts, especially during this Venus retrograde period and when Venus changes and goes direct. This is just a wonderful time when relationships seem to blossom, seem to change. Marriages, pregnancies, the whole thing seems to start moving forward. But what's important is that with it being in Leo, it's important that you've looked at your own needs and you now are aware what you need in a relationship, so that as this forward momentum of Venus goes now, you can start to get your needs met and enjoy more of your relationships. And this would apply to business relationships as well as personal ones. Now on the 13th of September, we've got a very powerful new moon solar eclipse happening for you here in this 8th house. So it's joining the Sun and Jupiter. So the Sun is there until the 24th of the month, and Jupiter is going to be there until roughly this time next year, so a whole year. So wherever we get a new moon solar eclipse, this is a wonderful time for some new beginnings. And the nice thing is that you've got Jupiter helping. So it's an opportunity for new beginnings to do with maybe a financial situation. It could be a joint situation. It could be something to do with an investor. If you're looking for a grant or a sponsorship or an angel investor, this could well happen for you during this new moon solar eclipse. It's also a good energy for an inheritance or a gift from somebody. It's a really good time as well for you to look at intimacy. It's the house that rules sex, birth, life and death. So it's a new opportunity for you to look at what does becoming intimate with somebody mean? How do I become closer to people? I know Aquarians, you actually really like your space for the most part. You like friends, but not too close. But here is an opportunity for you to examine maybe a new approach to intimacy and what intimacy means for you. It's also a wonderful opportunity for getting into anything connected with astrology, numerology, past lives, metaphysics, healing. All of that is wonderful for this new moon solar eclipse may trigger it. Now remember, a solar eclipse, the effects of it can be felt up to 3 months before and at least 6 months after, if not 3 years or even up to 7 years after. So it can have a very powerful effect. That's why eclipses are so important. And I always look at them when I do personal astrology readings. So on the 18th of September, we've got Mercury retrograde up here, and Mercury is going to be retrograde until the 9th of October. So usual things apply. Mercury retrograde, give yourself extra time. If you're traveling anywhere, remember to back up your hard drive and try not to sign important contracts, because chances are something may have been missed off and you just have to repeat it. So the retrograde up here is asking you to reflect on your beliefs. Reflect on maybe religion generally, to reflect on learning, You might decide during this time you want to research something that really matters to you, that's really important. For those of you that are into writing, during Mercury retrograde, this is a wonderful time for writing and pursuing your writing. It's often writers do some of their best writing during a Mercury retrograde. Now, also on that same date, the 18th of September, Saturn changes sign. So until from the first 17 days of the month, we've got Saturn still in this 10th house for you, Aquarians. So many of you have experienced over this last 2-3 years a lot of changes connected with your career, possibly an ending and a change of direction. But it's important now, just for that last couple of weeks of the month, to look at, well, what have I learned in connection to my career? You know, what have I achieved? For many of you, it can be a time of great achievement and public acknowledgement and recognition. And for many of you, it will be a time of just rebuilding, starting again and restructuring your whole career. And from the 18th of the month, this Saturn now going into your 11th house, where it's going to stay until the end of 2017. So Saturn in the 11th house, this is a wonderful time actually for working on a project, maybe with a group of people, with an organization. You may find yourself really involved in something to do with social media or with a social situation, with a community that's important to you. It's also a very good time when some of you might just reassess friendships. There could be endings of friendships at this time, or the friendships that you do have could go deeper. They could go to a deeper, closer level than you've ever been to before. It's also a very good time, Aquarius, it's your house, the 11th house, great time for thinking about dreams and wishes, the things that you want for yourself, and the steps that you're going to take in order to get to those dreams and wishes for yourself and also for the world. The 11th house is about the wider world. On the 24th of September, the Sun comes into your 9th house, joining that Mercury retrograde. So this could be good news about a trip. You're going to be going somewhere exciting, or good news about an exam or something you've been studying. And it could also mean good news about a court case or something legal that you've been involved with. On the 25th of September, Mars changes house and goes into your 8th house, and this energizes something to do with money again. So here with Mars there, this is an important time to take action, not just to have the idea. So the solar eclipse might have brought the idea, but Mars is going to trigger some action, something you maybe need to do. Maybe you need to take out an insurance policy. Maybe you need to move your money from one bank to another. Maybe you need to close an account. Maybe you need to deal with something to do with some taxes. But it's about dealing with something possibly in that financial arena. And last but not least, we've got a full moon lunar eclipse on the 28th of September. And this is happening in your, what have I done here? Yes, I've done something a little wrong. I've swapped those round. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Sorry. This is Mercury retrograde playing here. I hope you'll have a bit more patience, and also during retrogrades we have to have a lot more patience with people. I'll be talking about that in a moment. So here is this full moon lunar eclipse happening for you in your 3rd house, resonating here with Uranus. So when it's a full moon, it's shining a light on something. So you may find out an important piece of information. 3rd house is the information house. Something a really important piece of information that may give you a new business idea, a new idea of how to meet somebody important and influential. This could just trigger it for you in that 3rd house. You could also culminate in something you've been studying for a while, and you just say, okay, I've understood that now it's time to move on to something new, to something different. But do be ready for something maybe a little unexpected. And again, I'm going to say with Uranus there, I'm going to say with the Mercury retrograde, especially towards the end of the month, really make sure that you take extra time. If you get into an airport or a train station or a bus station, leave yourself plenty of time. Take a book or your iPad and read. So Because communication is so important, and because it's such a powerful time, I've decided that before Mercury goes retrograde, I'm doing another seminar, this time in London, 12th September. I'll do a video more about it near close to the time, but it's going to be about your relationships, understanding communications in relationships. Something I've been working on for many years now, so I'm tremendously excited to share it with you. We'll look at your communication needs. Isn't that the really sticking point in so many relationships? I've done so many relationship charts, and often there's a wonderful chemistry between people, but over time the communication deteriorates. This will look at the Mercury energy, the dynamics, and how you can improve all of your relationships and your understanding of your relationships. So I hope to see many of you in London in September. And for those of you that can't make it, there will be an option of online highlights of the seminar. So I wish you a great month. Thank you for listening, for subscribing, for sharing. Bye for now.